Hello, Gifford here, welcome to a late night video, and I'm just going to go over the dividend stocks that I own and what my plan is going into the end of the year. So going straight into the video, you can see here the portfolio is up to 16,584, and we'll just click that and we'll see that I've got 9.41% simple return, and we can see the graph here. If we go into that, you can see in early 2023 that I did start dividend investing and it's just gone up slowly over time. Now, one of the things to remember is that you compare your portfolio to how this general market is going, but one of the things I will explain is that this is an income portfolio, so it's there to generate income and not so much trying to beat the S&P 500, which is really what you should all invest in, or VT, which is the World Total Index Funds. And I've got VT in this account as well, just for some stability, but it's not really trying to beat that. What it's trying to do is generate, and I'm trying to grow my dividends over time. And the good thing about Sharesies is that you can click into the amount put in, and it has a good breakdown of what's going on, so the cost of shares, and then so I've got 14,667, and my transaction fees are $6.16, so reasonably cheap. And the total that I've put in there, and you can see the total return. This is in New Zealand dollars. It has a full breakdown there, so it's good to see as well. And this is why Sharesies is a good, easy, basic, and sort of really simple beginners platform to use, because it gives you all these little extra information that otherwise the other bigger platforms don't really have a breakdown. So scrolling down, we can see here that it's 78% of your investments are ETFs, and it just shows it's each there, how much you're kind of put into it in New Zealand dollars. So let's start off with ETFs and going over my highest returns. Actually, let's change that. Let's change to highest investment value. So the reason why I've changed that there is because I've actually got a set table of how much I invest into these accounts. Now, it doesn't matter about the return of them, but it's actually a weighted amount that I put in. So the money I invest in has a certain percentage out of 100%, and I have it as well that 80% is my target to make sure that it is ETFs only, and the other 20% is for companies. And this is just try to minimize risk. Although while minimizing risks, it also will hamper my returns, because companies tend to outperform the market. You know, some years they can really boost up in value, and some years kind of decline down a bit, where ETFs are just kind of steady and plodding along. And because there's a lot of companies in those ETFs, you kind of get an average of the company's gains and losses, therefore they don't move that much. So the first one is Vanguard, which is VYM, and it's currently at $127.50 a share. And you can see that in the last year, actually we'll go to the last 5 years. So I started investing in them really in the end of 2022. So it's not really that long. You can see that I've been slowly buying here, but yeah, I only bought a couple of times here, so that's a bit of a shame. You can see that there's a lot of gains lost here because I didn't buy into them. And this produces a gross dividend yield of 2.84% here, and if you click on that, you can actually see when the payments are and how much they are. So this is a great feature of Sharesies. I won't show you every single one of the stocks that I own because it'll take a long video. So the next one is VT, and this is a total world index fund. So if we go here, and we can see in the last year, I've been consistently investing into VT and its dips, and you can see here it's had a couple of dips and all the way down here. So that's pretty good. And VT has a gross yield of 1.89%. Now that dividend yield is fairly low. So VT is really just here just to stabilize the accounts. One day I may actually end up getting rid of VT because it's too diversified, and basically it overlaps across all the other companies that I own here and ETFs that I own here, because it is the VT World Fund. So the third one here is the Vanguard S&P 500. So this here is a fairly diversified fund. I talk about this all a lot, and so you'll know about this one here. So out of 34% of the companies, you can see all the big ones are there, with Apple and Microsoft, Nvidia, you know, have their weightings on here. So kind of a lot of overlap with the VT, but you can see here the last 1 year I have been investing regularly all the way through, sticking to my investing motto, and you can see the dividend yield is pretty low again at 1.29%. So these three funds here really stabilize the accounts, and if we go back to portfolio, you can see that the simple return is only at 9.41, and that's because while it hasn't gone down and has actually slowly been going up, you're not going to get a lot of gains there, because those ones there are the majority of the portfolio. Moving along, so we've got JP here, and this is the JP Morgan Premium Income ETF. So again, we can see here I have been a little bit inconsistent through these times here. I missed out on these dips here not buying, so that's a bit of a shame there. But anyway, now it's got a really good dividend yield at 7.88%. If we click there, we can see the different payments that they pay out, and we can see that it is a monthly payment. So here GP is a really good dividend income, and what's also nice is up by 9% as well. So not only a healthy dividend, but up 9%. So maybe later on this becomes a bigger part of my portfolio. Next we have have SCHD. So this is a very popular one. This is basically one that I got off YouTube. A lot of people just, instead of having so many stocks like I do, I think I've got 15 or 16 stocks, they basically have SCHD and a couple of handfuls of other ones, and that's it. And that's because it has been performing well. You can see here that it's up 20% in 1 year, as well as paying a healthy dividend of 3.46%. So that's a pretty safe dividend around about the 4 or 5% mark. So moving on, we have Devo here. I think this is another monthly paying one. So we can see then again that I have been investing regularly, and it has a healthy dividend of 4.59%. It's also worth noting that each of these ETFs do have a management fund. So this one here is 0.55%. Now I don't really care about this in here because I use the dividend that kind of pays these fees here, but some are definitely lower and some are definitely higher. So if you're wanting to know exactly which fees they are, so you can just click there and then it has some information for you. But to me, it doesn't really worry me, those little fees there, because the dividend does pay for all that. So the next one down is DGRW, and also have DGRO there, so very similar. And we can see here with QQQ that these here are lower amounts again. So I kind of have like a tiered approach of what ETFs I want to invest in. So DGRW only has a 1.55% dividend yield, pretty low, but again, it has a lot of capital gains to be had here at 27%. So I think that's actually beating the S&P 500. So great to have, and you can see I'm consistently investing in it. So the next one is DGRO, and we've got here a 2.22% dividend yield, so a little bit low, but you can see the capital gains in here, which is 24%, again beating the S&P 500 year to date. And we can see that, hey, the management fee is actually pretty low on this one. So if it's something that you're interested in, then definitely have a look at this one. So again, this one here is another YouTube favorite of mine that I just saw a lot of people investing into, and I thought I'd give it a go. It's also worth considering that other people that are showing you the portfolio, it's just their, ideas. You should really look into funds like this and go, right, is this right for me? Do I want to invest in this? And for me, this fits right in because it does give good capital gains returns, even though the dividend is fairly low, but I still have it in here to build that dividend, and it is only a smaller holding in mine, but I really like this because it is a good growing ETF. So the last one is Triple Q, and this is not really a dividend stock, but I got this because of the gains that you can have from it. See, look at its 1 year price chart, and this is because it has all the big tech in it. You can see here Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, and those stocks just keep on going up. So it's hard to fight them. So it's just nice to buy this and just forget about it. It has a tiny dividend of 0.58, but yeah, that's really negligible. You can see the management fees is actually pretty low as well. At some stage when I think this is a little bit too high, I will actually trim it. And here, let's just go back to what it is. Yeah, so I've only started buying it recently, and it's already up, 14.31%. So that's pretty decent, where I've had these other ones here for a lot longer, and this one here has just equaled its gains. Or in this case, it's beaten these other two. So right, going into the companies, we can see here, so my highest investment value, still again, we've got Microsoft, and that's currently up by 13% since I've had it. So you'll see these with my companies that I only buy once in a while, where I think, it's either good value, or I might even trim my position when it gets a little bit higher, and then start buying in again. I will show you that table of sort of my weighted buying averages and what I want them to be in the portfolio, which will make sense. But yeah, Microsoft has got a small dividend, so it's not really, again, a dividend yield, but I have it in here for sort of its capital, or the gains that can be had from it, and it's up at a respectable 16%. As you can see, there is no management fee because this is just a company. You basically buy them and pay the fee at that time, and then there's no ongoing cost like an ETF. Going on to the next one is Google. Now, Google's had a bit of a hard time. We'll have a look here, and we see that the share price hasn't actually done too much, although if you have a look at the 1 year, it has actually done pretty well, but I just didn't get into it at the right time. So I should be really buying a bit more, but it's already over my allocated amount. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait for Google to catch up. See, it's got a tiny dividend yield, which is not really worth it really, but the PE ratio is pretty low. So again, its market cap is already massive at $2 trillion. So pretty big company, so it's already safe in my opinion. But again, the price is a little bit depressed at the moment, but I've got no worries with Google. I think they're gonna come back up again, and having that PE ratio of 22 is pretty low. So eventually people are going to start liking Google again because its revenues and earnings are pretty massive. The next one is iRealty Income, and again, this one is just buying once every now and then, and we can see that it's jumped up significantly. It's actually 15.79% in 1 year, so that's pretty good. Has a really high PE ratio, but this one here is actually a dividend favorite at 5.35%, which is probably why it's got a high PE ratio. But this is a REIT, so you don't really kind of value these REITs, these companies like this, at PE. You have another metric for it, which is, I think I can remember, AFFO. So the next ones here, I'll just go over very quickly because they are sort of lower holdings. See, I've only got about $200 US in here. By the way, if you haven't noticed, all my companies are US. None of them are actually in New Zealand or Australia. That that's just something I've decided to do. I did invest earlier on into New Zealand companies, but they didn't go too well for me. And I just like the US companies because there's more information about them, and I can see, YouTube videos, other investors investing in them, and then seeing their thesis, their sort of methodology of why they invest into them. So McDonald's, I've only got 0.7 of a share there, and that's up by 9%. We'll just have a look at its dividend yield. It's pretty low at 2.42%. The reason why I hold them is because we go to McDonald's and our kids like McDonald's, so it's just something that it's just, one of those brands that and kind of like, and they're going to be around for ages, so might as well invest in their stock. Another one is Lowe's. We don't have Lowe's in New Zealand, but you can see I've got 0.8 shares in it. I think it is the highest here in this portfolio at 21%. So again, this is just something I kind of bought because for the gains, look at that, 34% in 1 year, and the dividend yield is pretty low at 1.76%, but it's got a really good PE ratio, and the market cap is only actually $4 billion, so pretty low market cap. Yeah, not much to say really. So before I talk about this one, we've got Visa here, which I've only got 0.32 shares, and it's up by 11%. Visa's at a PE ratio at 29, but look at the dividend yield. What I would have bought this for is really for the gains in it, so it's up by 19%. But again, Visa is just something I bought as a recommendation, but I'm actually going to be selling out of Visa because it's not something that I find enjoyable following or really like the company. I just kind of bought it because it was a recommendation. But unlike these other ones here where I use Microsoft, I go to McDonald's, I don't know about that one there, but that one's got some good gains, so we'll keep that there. But I know Google products and I use that, and I like REITs. What I'm going to be doing with Visa and selling off and actually buying this new one here. So this one here is, the ticker symbol is BIT, and it's a BlackRock multi-sector income trust. So I first learned about this one from a YouTube video, and it was just something about income investing and giving back to it. So why this one is different, and you can see here that I've only started buying, what is it? It's the 1 year chart. What about the month? So I've only really started buying this in the last month, and it hasn't really done too much. So the thing about this one is if the dividend yield is at about 10%, then we can tell that the share price is $14.80. So that's about $1.48 per dividend per year. So if we look at this, and it actually pays monthly, so therefore it's going to be around about 0.124 because it's divided by 12. So yeah, so paying into this, you're basically going to get a 10% yield, which is like getting a 10% term deposit. Now you do have to pay some tax because we are in New Zealand, but I think that's a really good deal because say on average by the time you pay tax, all the fees, the money over there, by the time Sharesies takes its cut, all the taxes here, IRD, you're going to get about a 5 to 6% yield on that. Then I think that would be pretty good, and that's why I'm kind of selling Visa to try to get more of this and to try to pump up those dividend yields and try to pump up that dividend payment a little bit because some of these companies are bringing it down. So going into my simple tracker here, this is just showing you how much money I've invested. Now this is not about how much it's gone up by, but actually the amount of money I've invested into each of them. So we can see here that VYM, the Vanguard Total Fund, I want to have 15% of the portfolio there, and we can currently see that it is at 14%. Now this is just a manual Excel sheet that I plug in once a week or maybe every 2 weeks or something like that I update. So we can see here that I want GP to be 11% and so on, we can see there. And right here is we have the new ticker symbol, and I'm selling V, so I want to get that up to 4%. And then again, my ETFs or funds, is at 80%, where my companies is at 20%. And then I've just got a conversion of US to New Zealand dollar in here. So just before I end the video, I just want to go to wallet and show you that my money goal for this year, you can see that I've got currently $8,240, and I'm trying to get to 10,000 in the next month or two by the end of the year. So I'm getting pretty close to my goal. That's quite a pretty big goal for me, saving $10,000. But this year, as you know, I've been mortgage free, so it's quite easy to actually get that amount there. But when I buy another house to upgrade, then that's going to be more difficult in the future because that's basically $200 a week, which is quite a lot of money, And coming over to the pricing plan, you can just see here how I'm going. So I'm on the $3 plan, which means I can buy, sell up to $500, and I've already used up $200 of that, either buying or selling. But here is quite the big one where I invest up to $1,000 of buy orders. Now this is just auto invest orders, and this is basically what I use my funds for. So that's a pretty good deal with, $3 and investing up to $1,500 worth. And lastly, if we go to auto invest, you can just see here, this is me investing $100 every week, although I do change that. So I might go into here 2 times a week to kind of invest $200 every other time. And if we click that, you can see here at the moment what I invest in. See, I just change these numbers depending how much money I want to invest in whereabouts and sort of how it correlates to my table that I have. We can see here that currently I want to buy some of that bit. So those are my 9 ETFs and 7 companies that I hold in the portfolio. So while those dividend stocks don't give me a lot of income at the moment, while the portfolio is small, I'm hoping that one day they can grow into something big and they can supplement my main jobs by giving me those dividend income. So give me your thoughts on the dividend stocks that I own, what ones you like and what ones you don't like. I know that some of them there aren't really proper dividend stocks, but again, you know the reasons why I hold them. Anyway, that's it for me for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to follow me elsewhere, you can feel free to follow over on Instagram, where I post every other day about market news and what I'm doing with my portfolio. The trading platform I use is Interactive Brokers, Hatch Invest, Stake and Sharesies for individual companies, and I use Investnow for index funds. If you want to start investing, you can use any of my referral codes down below to start your own investing journey if you are from New Zealand. Like and subscribe if you like videos like this from someone from New Zealand. Otherwise, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.